Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I'm going to be telling you guys about 10 easy and super useful tips and tricks that you might not know about in Grand Theft Auto Online. That's right, so a user, Burnsy, on the GTA Online subreddit put together like a tips and tricks mega thread, and what I've done is I've pulled what in my opinion is the 10 best ones from that, and hopefully I can teach you guys one new thing that you might not know about in Grand Theft Auto Online, because as I was reading through that list, I'm like, such a high level, and I've played Grand Theft Auto Online for like 3 years now, and I still learned a couple things, which is crazy, and it just shows you how the level of detail Grand Theft Auto Online is, and just how you can learn so many things each and every day. So like I said, if I can teach you one new thing and you can grab one piece of information or a tip or trick, then I've done my job. So we've got a lot to talk about, so let's not waste any more time and let's get it started. Okay, at the number one spot, I'm sure many of you guys know that you can deposit money from your phone and that you don't have to use the ATMs that are scattered throughout the world. However, when you go through the phone, it's a pretty tedious process. You have to go through the money, then you have to go through deposit, and then you have to obviously choose the amount, select, wait on the game. And then when you're trying to back out, it's an even longer process. You have to spam on the back button, go through all the pages. What if I told you guys you didn't even have to do that? So if you're on PlayStation, it's the triangle button. And if you're on Xbox, it is the Y button. After you deposit your money, you can easily just click that button and it'll get you straight back into gameplay. I actually think it's X on the PC. I'm not 100% sure though. But if you do that, you'll go straight back to gameplay instead of going through all the multiple screens. Now, I know what you might be saying. How much time does that really save you? Well, if you do this every time you deposit money, it's going to save you, 10 seconds probably each time. So if you think about it, that extra time will eventually add up. So that is a pretty useful and easy tip when depositing money and to get you straight back into gameplay. Okay, tip number 2, always make sure you go into passive mode before going into a job launching screen. So this is extremely useful if you play in public lobbies a lot where people are going to be interacting with you. So basically, just go into passive mode before you start a job, because when you return to the game, you're probably going to be put right next to the players that you just did that job with. And if they either don't like you or want to grab your money from you, they could easily call a mugger and steal the cash that you just got from that game. However, if you're in passive mode, that prevents all of that from happening. So that's a super easy thing to do. Obviously, passive mode isn't going to impact you in the job itself, and it's really easy to do as soon as you start the job. And if you want to be out of passive mode, as soon as you get back, all you have to do is get rid of it. But I know for me, a lot of times I like to go AFK after doing a job or a mission or something like that. So, and I'll come back and I've just died 18 times over again. So this is a great way to prevent that, prevent griefing, and prevent people from taking your money as well. Tip number 3, and this is a great feature for taking cover. If you're on the PlayStation 4, it's the square button. And if you're on Xbox, it's the X button. And this is a great way to navigate from cover, moving from side to side without actually having to leave cover. So I'm horrible in combat, and one of the reasons is I don't know tips and tricks like this. So if you're leaning against cover, but you want to shimmy against another wall without having to get out and then go back into cover, if you just press square or X while you're leaning, your character will move over while still keeping cover on the wall. So like I said, this is great for really flat surfaces and things that reach 90-degree angles, and it's going to be great for avoiding bullets that are hitting you, getting into a better position to attack your enemy. Like I said, without having to get out of the cover you're in, you can kind of shimmy over and move, and you'll be able to get into a better position without sacrificing your cover or without exposing yourself to maybe people being able to shoot you. So I actually just found out about that tip. That was one of the brand new ones that I learned from here. So that is extremely cool, and hopefully that's gonna help me out in my gunfights. Okay, tip number 4, and this one's actually kind of fun. So if you want to freak out your friends or just start a contact mission, parachuting down to the ground, what you can actually do is just start the mission inside of a helicopter or a plane that's flying above the map. Because the contact missions don't take place at a trigger like races and TDMs do, it will spawn you in where you start. However, if you start up high in the world, like in a helicopter or in a plane, it's actually going to drop you in. And it's a super cool way to start the mission. I mean, how epic is this? Just nose diving straight into the mission that you're about to do. So you can do this to freak out your friends, just have a cool way to enter in one of the GTA Online missions. But also, it's a pretty cool way if you spawn right over the location, you can actually get a pretty good jump on the objective or the enemies that you have to take out for this mission. So it's a pretty cool thing you can do. Check it out. I'm not sure if you guys have ever done this, but I thought this was extremely unique. All right, tip number 5, I'm going to be showing you something pretty cool with one of the vehicles in game, and this is actually a correction I need to make from a video a while ago, and it's actually a rare spoilerless version of the Impante Phoenix. So Rockstar has not mentioned this, they haven't brought this up, but for whatever reason now a spoilerless version of the Phoenix is spawning. Now the Phoenix is a pretty rare and hard car to find, but if you do get one to spawn, you'll likely get others to spawn as well, and this is when you'll be able to find the one without the spoiler. So I would say they spawn about 20 or 30% of the time. They're definitely not the majority here. So if you see one and it has a spoiler, don't necessarily think that, none of them are going to spawn, because they likely will. You just need to give it some time. And as you can see here in the few clips that I'm showing, there are many Phoenixes spawning. And like I said, about 20 or 30% of them don't have the spoiler, which is super cool. And this is a customization option that you cannot apply in the LSC. It's something that's got to spawn or not spawn in the game by default. So I thought that was pretty cool. I don't have an exact location where Phoenixes spawn. Typically near like Strawberry, the docks, places like that are good bets to get this vehicle to get into the game. Okay, tip number 6, 2 quick things regarding robbing stores. You guys probably already know about this, but sometimes the clerks will pull out guns and shoot you, and they can kill you, and they can add an additional star to your escape. However, right after the clerk is robbing the store, if you shoot him in the hand, that'll prevent him from pulling out a gun, either scare him away, or it's going to disarm him where he won't be able to shoot you. Now, what's also great about that is it's going to eliminate you getting that 3rd star. When you rob a store, you're going to get 2 stars automatically, but if you kill a clerk, you're going to get a 3rd. So you don't want to do that. Now let's move on to the escape. You guys might not know about this, but if you're escaping and you put on a mask, it's actually going to reduce your star level by 1. So all you have to do is basically get out of the store, make sure you're out of the range of the cops, and then apply a mask. And what that's going to do is instantly drop your star. And once you get down to 1 star, it's a super easy escape. So this can speed up your time in between robbing stores and also making your escapes that much easier. Okay, tip number 7, I'm going to be telling you guys how things spawn in the game. So you may be curious as to how like the CEO stuff works, as how when you call a mechanic, where the car spawns. It's always going to spawn out of your field of view. I'm not sure why Rockstar does this, maybe to give you the impression that the car is being delivered. I'm really not too sure, but basically if you want the car or a vehicle to spawn in a certain location, you can kind of manipulate it a bit by looking in the direction where you don't want it to be. So as you can see here, I'm looking at this bridge. I obviously don't want anything like a helicopter or car to spawn under the bridge or over the bridge. So if I look at it, it'll likely spawn either somewhere else off to the side or directly behind me. The same thing, like I said, can be done for the CEO vehicles, especially like buzzards. Can't tell you how many times I've spawned a buzzard underneath like a bridge or underneath an overpass. Just makes it incredibly tricky to get out. So it's always going to spawn outside of your field of view, outside your peripheral, and where your character can't see. So keep that in mind the next time you're spawning in a vehicle. Okay, tip number 8, if you're busy in real life but you want to get somewhere in Grand Theft Auto Online without going AFK, what you can actually use is calling the taxi. So everyone's got the taxi on their phone and they can call that and you can set it to a location. You can put some pretty useful ones like your apartment or maybe the gun store, and depending on the settings you apply to the taxi, it's going to take him maybe 5 to 10 to 15 minutes in order to get you there. Time that if you had just left your controller sitting idle, you would have been kicked from online and you wouldn't be doing anything positive. So this is a great way if you have to run up, do some homework or do a chore or go outside or do something really fast. You can stay connected in online and you won't go AFK. Also, kind of another side tip, the taxi is a vehicle that you can steal and never get a bounty. So if you're away from your personal vehicle or too close to it and you need another car for whatever reason, you can call a taxi, you can steal it, and there's no chance you're going to be getting a bounty. So that is a great feature right there. Tip number 9, I'm going to be telling you guys how many people have free chrome wheels in Grand Theft Auto Online. So in order to do this, you need to go to the start menu. you then need to go over to stats, scroll down to awards, and then go to rewards. And from there, you should see like these wheel icons, and they'll tell you how you can get free chrome wheels for each category. I actually didn't even know about this. As you can clearly see, I have none of them unlocked. Some of them have to do with capture missions. Some of them have to do with last team standings. And if you complete this, you're getting free chrome wheels for life, which are pretty expensive. The chrome wheels are like the most expensive wheels that you can get in the game. So if you want to get free chrome wheels in Grand Theft Auto Online, that is certainly how you can check right there. Just go into the start menu, stats, awards, rewards, and you can check on your progress right there. All right, and finally, last but not least today, if you ever have a daily objective or a free mode events that involves doing wheelies or whatnot, there's a super easy way to do that. What you need is a Faggio. So if you don't own one of those, you can get them from online. They're like $5,000. They're super cheap. And then what you need to do is go to Vespucci Beach. So the way the Faggio reacts to the sand, it allows you to almost endlessly wheelie. And because it goes so slow, you can do it for like literally minutes at a time and for an extremely long distance. And if you need to correct yourself or move off to the side a little bit, you can because it goes pretty slow. So that's a pretty cool tip right there. Like I said, if you're a big fan of doing daily objectives or any of the free mode events in Grand Theft Auto Online, this is a super easy way to do that. But anyways, that's really all the information I have for you guys today, and 10 awesome, super easy and useful tips and tricks for Grand Theft Auto Online. Like I said, if you guys found one new tip or one new thing that you learned from this video, then I consider it a success, and I would love for you guys to leave a like rating on the video. That would be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. Without the way, guys, like I said, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.